Hi grade 12s and welcome to this video. In today's video we are going to take a look at question 1 of this question paper. So before you start the question paper, always just make sure what the rounding instructions is. So this one says round off to 2 decimal places unless otherwise stated. And then obviously we got to show all of our calculations for full marks. So for the first question, it says we need to solve for x. If your equation is already equal to 0, which this one is, and it has been factorized, then you can just equate the common factor to 0. You can equate the first bracket and then the second bracket to 0. For the first one, we can divide the 3 away on both sides and x remains 0. For the next one, the 2 can go over, and then for the last one, the 7 is going to go over, and then we divide the 4 away, and it leaves us with negative 7/4. For the next question, it says solve for x correct to 2 decimal places by completing the square. So when we complete the square, we want to take the constant number over to the other side of the equal sign, and then we want to add the following. So we want to add a half times the coefficient of x squared, but what we add to the one side, we also have to add to the other side as well. Then we can simplify this, so this becomes x squared minus 2x plus 1, and on the other side we also have 2 plus 1, which is going to give us 3 on the next step. So on the left-hand side, we now have a trinomial. Because this is completion of the square, we will get 2 of the exact same brackets. For you to compile the bracket, you can solve the trinomial manually. Or what also always works is, if there's an x in front, then we've got an x in front, then the same sign as the middle term, and then the square root of the last term. Our next step would be to solve for x, so we first need to get rid of that square by doing the square root on the other side. And because 3 is a prime number, it will stay in surd form. And then we will take the 1 over. So it's going to be plus minus the square root of 3 plus 1. So this question said we have to round off to 2 decimal places. So on the calculator, you will have to type this in. And for our first one, we would probably get 2,73, and then for the next one, minus 0,73. Okay. For the next question, we've got an inequality. We can see that over there. It says we need to solve for x where this equation, which we can see is a trinomial, which also means it's a parabola, is smaller than 0. But here is something new that is not asked quite a lot. It also says if x is an element of integers. So the first thing that we got to do is we have to factorize our trinomial. When we factorize the trinomial, we look at the factors of the constant number, and these factors would be 1 times 8 and also 2 times 4. Then we've got to use these factors to get the middle term. So we've got to add or subtract them. 8 plus 1 or 8 minus 1 is not going to give us negative 2, but the next set will definitely work. So if we use a minus 4 and a plus 2, the minus 4 plus the 2 would give us the number in the middle. And if we multiply these two, we also get the number at the back. If you've got a white calculator, you can also use mode 5 and then number 3 for trinomial, and you can use your A, B, and C values to factorize. Just remember, you have to show this step where it is still in brackets, and then our critical points for this question is 4 or x is -2. So to figure this out, I usually draw a little parabola for myself. This is a positive parabola because the a value is positive, and then the x-intercepts go from smallest to biggest. This question is asking us where it is below 0 or smaller than 0, which means negative, or it means below the x-axis. So if I look at my parabola, then between the 2 points, my graph is lying below the x-axis. So one of my answers that I would write is that it lies between the 2 points like this. Then we just got to remember that this question asked where x is an element of integers. So then we got to list the specific set of integers mentioned in this inequality. So it just says bigger than -2, so we can't include -2. So that means we've got -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Again, we can't include 4 because the inequality just says smaller than 4. And then for the last question, it says show that the equation has equal roots for all values of p. So equal roots means delta needs to be equal to 0. For us to get delta, we first have to put the equation into standard form. So we are going to bring the p squared back to the left-hand side. So it's going to change its sign. And now we've got a trinomial. So this is our a value. This is the b value, and this is the c value. We need that because delta must be equal to 0. So if you forgot what delta is, you can look at the quadratic equation on the formula sheet, and delta is the value below or underneath the square root. So now we are going to sub the values from our trinomial into delta. Then this is going to give a positive 4p squared minus 4p squared. If you wanted to, you could have first multiplied the two brackets with one another and then multiply it with the number in front of the bracket, and then we get 0. If you're going to type in -2 squared on the calculator, make sure that you do it in brackets, otherwise you will not get the correct answer. And then that's it for the first question.